Well, would you looky here? I finally got around to dragging in the golf cart so we can finally get started on the Redneck side-by-side build. Granted, the start of this is a little more delayed than I would have liked to have been, but there's a lot of things that I've been having to do lately, and suddenly those small projects are starting to slow down, so I'm able to start focusing back on things that I want to do. So here we go. I wheeled her into my small but usable work area here. As you can see, it's starting to fill up with all these different rigs of different shapes and sizes. This one actually being easily the largest footprint of all of them. This thing's huge, and it weighs a lot too. This thing originally started as an E-Z-GO TXT electric golf cart. I think I had a bunch of information in one of the previous videos I had. Basically, I'm going to try to convert this into gas powered somehow so the wife and kids and whoever else can kind of bomb this thing around the yard. Now you can see this rear axle's actually been solid mounted originally from the factories. These are leaf sprung, and the previous owner kind of discombobulated the leaf spring system because it was all broken and smashed to shit. I've actually gone ahead and changed it out to a chain drive. Actually, I think I bolted that in there, didn't I? Yeah, I think I did. There. I got it pulled off of there so you can actually see the splines on both ends. So, little custom adapter there. Should work out alright. I may end up building a jack shaft off of this with a bearing support just because I'm afraid of the amount of torque twisting against this, which is basically aluminum housing, but I don't know. We'll see. So today I'm not going for anything too extreme or drastic. This is more of a destruction day than a construction day. And actually the first thing I'm going to go after is this seat. And as you can see, the seat just easily flips forward and is actually pretty easily removable, which eventually I'm going to have to put some sort of lockdown mechanism there for that thing. Once the seat's all removed, I'm basically going after these brackets along the frame that are basically useless to me. They used to hold on the cart body, and that's all that plastic shit that's gone now. I'm also going to remove this floorboard so I can get to these brake pedal and throttle pedal linkages, because I'm going to need to do some fiddling with that since this is all electric, or at least the throttle is. Here in the middle of the golf cart, we've actually got what is the old battery tray. There used to be like 6 or 8 batteries that sat lined up into this compartment here. And you can see it's all angle steel and it's kind of rusty. I think I am going to keep this here because it's actually generally pretty solid. Most of the rust seems like surfaced rust. But I'm hoping that I can eventually use this battery cradle to sort of convert it into an engine cradle of some kind. I've got a few ideas on what I want to use for a motor, but it's going to be basically dictated on what's available to me and how much I can afford and the condition of said motor. So I'm not really 100% positive what's going in here. I do know that I would rather have it reversed than not because this thing's pretty heavy and I can't imagine having to push it in any direction, especially once it's got a motor on it. So hopefully I can find something that's got a reverse mechanism of some kind to make life a lot easier. But first, we got to get to cutting and grinding, so I'm going to go ahead and start cutting these brackets off, getting rid of those things. I actually had to buy a new angle grinder as well because my old one sort of shit the bed and I couldn't get new brushes for it, so I bought me a new Bosch. It's pretty sweet. I like it. It's a lot louder and smaller than my old one, but it seems to work pretty good. I also got myself a new reciprocating saw, which is pretty awesome too. It's just a small Craftsman. This is not the best. I think it's the second to the best, but it actually still works pretty good. Alright, so I got those funky weird rear brackets removed and I knocked down the welds pretty good. Nice clean frame. Those suckers were on there really well. I'm actually quite surprised, which makes me feel better about the welds on the rest of the frame here. But now I'm turning my attention to this floorboard here. The preferred method of removal here is probably going to be just to drill out these rivets. There's not very many of them remaining. Should be fairly easy with a power drill. And then hopefully this floor pan will just lift right out of place. Yuck, what a mess. You can kind of see why I wanted to get under here now. You can see that's the linkage to the brake system and it looks pretty haggard. If it does need replacement, it's going to at least need a little bit of cleaning up and greasing and things of that nature. Here in the gas pedal, like I said before, this was an electric golf cart, so the whole system is fly-by-wire. It's got this 4-prong plug, runs into the back of this servo. Basically it takes an analog signal from your foot, the motion of you pushing it in and out, and makes it a digital signal with this little conversion box. I'm guessing there's like a servo or something in there, or a potentiometer. I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. But it actually looks like it'll be fairly easy to adapt a throttle cable to this setup. So I'm quite pleased to see that I don't actually have to really mess with this gas pedal at all. Really just have to figure out a linkage. But she is pretty rusty. She's definitely going to need to be cleaned on the frame a little bit. You can see it's not rusted through the metal, but it is it's very good surface rust, I'll tell you that much. So unfortunately, that's all I really have time to do today, since I spent so much time knocking the welds down on this frame here on both sides. I was hoping to get this rear end ripped out, the rear tires off and everything. There's not a whole lot to it, but I got to cut this angle steel mounting setup out of here. I don't really like it. It's probably not going to be strong enough for the bashing this thing is going to be taking. So I guess you guys will all just have to tune in next time to the next Redneck side-by-side build update to witness all that go down. Not going to be a super fast build by any means. This will probably take me all winter to get this thing done. I'm just building it in my spare time, guys. But thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Leave your ideas and comments below. I've got a few ideas of how I'm going to make this thing work so far, but I'm always open to new suggestions. So let me have it. But thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new updates. And, well, I'll see you in the next one.